When you're working in finance, you always want to dress nicely. You're making presentations, you're in an environment where it's really cutthroat, and what you say, what you do is judged, but also how you dress and how you present yourself. So I always want to look professional. And my problem was during the winter, my nice coats weren't warm, and my warm coats weren't nice. I couldn't wear a big, puffy, bulky puffer. That wasn't the right look. It was often too tacky with outward branding. It wasn't professional to wear that. It just didn't look macho enough. And then my nice cashmere coats from Italy looked great when it was 45 degrees or above, but the second it dropped below that, or got windy, rainy, sleet, snow, couldn't hold up. I'm like, this is crazy. We have to be able to combine the two worlds into one, to merge the worlds of fashion and function. Started making downline wool coats as a hobby. Next thing you know, sold out, turned it into a full-time business. I think it's a combination of performance and luxury. I think that people expect every product they get, whether it's a low-level consumer good, a technology piece, or their fashion, people want it to have innovation and performance. So ultimately, if you're wearing a coat, you're not just wearing it for a runway in Milan, you're wearing it for real life in New York, Chicago, Toronto. You're wearing it to have a real life in it in the streets of those places. So I believe that people want to be able to have the warmth, the pockets, the necks, the zippers plus buttons, the ability to feel comfortable, to be able to drive a car, to be able to go like this. Every guy they try on a coat, they want to be able to move around and feel comfortable, almost like they're not wearing it, but also be able to step outside and be able to combat New York City winters. So we're really one of the only players, if not the only player, to really do what we do. What we have been able to do is put a down lining into a super thin wool cashmere shell so they have that puffer feel inside of a more sophisticated wool cashmere piece, and we also waterproof all the fabric at the same time. All of that warmth, all of that function is inside of something that still looks very tailored. To someone else looking at you, you cannot tell that you have a piece that's tested to minus 10 degrees. To me, wool and cashmere wasn't warm enough. You know, wool comes from Australia. Australia's a warm place. Down comes from Northern Europe and Canada. Those are cold places. The geese are able to withstand the cold much better than the wool in Australia. I love down. It's light on the body. It heat regulates so that if you go inside a car or a train, you're not sweating your butt off. But then you step outside, it kicks in. The warmth kicks in. I love down, but I love the look of something more sophisticated, something soft, the wool cashmere. So merge the two worlds. The most important character trait, personality trait that people need in terms of corporate ascension is confidence. You want to be able to walk into a room with broad shoulders. If you don't feel confident in what you're wearing, if you think that your coat makes you look like you're back in 7th grade, it's hard to go and close a deal. It's hard to go impress your boss. You need to be able to go in looking like this, and having a coat like that gives you broader shoulders. Sharp, razor sharp look. Performance, and luxurious. Okay, so technology woven into the fabrication. We've been able to utilize technology that blows feathers into very, very small pockets. If this were to look big and puffy, the whole thing goes away. So using technology that's able to have tons of feathers in very, very small pouches is very, very important to us. That's something that couldn't have been done 15, 20 years ago. Inner membranes that allow for the fabric to still contour to your body and not affect the look and the sophistication, but still be waterproof fabric, major, major technological improvement for us. In terms of general technology in the world, there's no question that e-commerce is a major, major player right now, and that's both a positive and a negative. The positive is you could sell to places you don't even have stores. We have people buying from Kazakhstan to New Zealand, and we don't have stores there, but they're able to buy our product and be aware of it. That's something, again, also 20, 30 years ago wouldn't have happened. At the same time, there's this saturation of product. People are just overloaded with tons and tons of product and discounted stuff everywhere. So we just have to always make the case why we're special, and it's hard to break through that noise, but thankfully we have. If you're living in a climate that goes from hot summers to really cold winters, you need a couple of outerwear pieces that walk you through the various different seasons. And you need something that takes you through the winter months, you need something that takes you through the fall months, and then probably something through the summer as well. Our car coat is an absolute key piece. It's designed to be long enough to cover any suit jacket, We use them from interesting fabrications, some herringbones, some really unique colors, not your boring navies, but something that's not too loud, a little bit of a French or British blue. And those car coats really can walk with you anywhere. You could wear it dressed up with a suit and tie or on the weekend over a nice pair of jeans. Our hooded City Active parka, incredibly unique. That one actually has a hood, a real heavy downline waterproof hood that could fold up into the coat itself. We have a design that could be half on one side, half the other side. And this way you could have a formal coat when you go to the work meeting, and then you leave and it starts snowing, you just take out the hood. But it's not a little small crinkle hood. It's a real serious hood, but it could transform into a formal piece as well. And then lastly, we're now transitioning to having more lighter weight pieces for all the guys who love this for the winter, having the same concept but for your mid-cold days, where it's still a little chilly, windy, rainy. You need something that has high-level performance with good pockets, good performance, good features. Same concept of the performance and the sophisticated look. In order to solve a problem, you have to understand the problem. When I started making protos in Italy, they know their silhouettes, they know how to slope shoulders, they know how to make really beautiful fabrics. But they didn't know how to combat cold weather because honestly, Italy's not that cold of a country. So I remember from my finance days, we had some investments in Norway, and that's a cold country. So I took the prototypes that Italy made, which was 80% of the way there, and flew out to Oslo, Norway, and partnered with the Fashion Institute there and said, take this prototype 100% of the way there. I want a better collar, pockets you could stick all the way your wrists in so that there's no skin showing. I want zippers plus buttons, but a way to close your neck without choking you. They understood it because they understand what -10 feels like. And we took that technology, that innovation from the Norwegians and put it into the Italian design. And I always felt that Scandinavia and Norway was my inspiration for clean, sophisticated, elegant look. And they helped design it, so Norwegian wool.